In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to retarget your website visitors using LinkedIn ads. So how do you really maximize the point from the ad click to the website visit and nurture and convert those users to the best of your ability using the LinkedIn ads website retargeting segments. If you're new to the channel, my name is Silvio Perez. I'm the founder of Ad Conversion. 5,000 plus B2B marketers take our courses. And in addition to that, I also run an ad agency for B2B SaaS that manages about $3 million a month in ad spend under management. And LinkedIn is a core part of our day-to-day of what we teach in our academy, but also what we do for clients. So if you're looking to really learn how to maximize retargeting, we've got a lot of great videos for you here on this channel. But in this video, we're going to dive specifically into the website retargeting segment and a couple of different use cases that you can leverage to really maximize the return on investment of using this specific use case of retargeting. So high level, just make sure everyone here is on the same page. Step number one is you got to make sure you have the LinkedIn Ads Insight tag installed on your website. That's V1. I'm assuming you already have that, so you're already accruing traffic of people visiting your website. The second thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you maximize the segment. So step number one is you want to go into LinkedIn ads under the audiences section, create an audience, a matched audience, and you're going to select here website as the retargeting segment. As you can see, we have a lot of different options for retargeting, and I highly recommend that you're leveraging as many retargeting segments possible. And you're going to click next. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and start off with just a general catch-all retargeting audience. So for our case at Ad Conversion, I'm going to grab my my URL here, and then I'm going to drop this in here, and I'm going to do contains adconversion.com. So this is capturing the root domain. So what this is going to do is it's going to allow me to capture all possible visitors from my audience. In addition to this, naming conventions are really important. I love personally to always put remarketing in brackets like this when I name my retargeting audiences, because then it makes it super easy to just search REM when I'm building audiences in my campaigns to find all of my retargeting segments. In addition to that, if you have the audience size, what I recommend that you do is that you use clusters. So for context, like cohorts of time are very powerful. So if you have the retargeting audience size, it would be really beneficial to have a 30-day segment, a 90-day segment, and then a 180-day segment. So with these three segments of time, so for context, this is anyone that's been to your website in the last 30 days, 90 days, and then 180 days. And what this allows you to do is now what we can do for our 30-day segment is we can show them different content in relation to some of our 90-day segments, right? And our 180-day segments, and so on and so forth. So for context, like for the 90-day segment, I'm going to focus very much on product marketing content, social proof content, and thought leadership content. For the 30-day segment, I'm going to focus very much on product marketing and social proof content. And for the 180-day segment, it's going to be the exact same thing, but maybe more of a focus on thought leadership content. So essentially what I'm able to do by creating these three different segments of time is I create an experience for the user where in the first 30 days, I'm showing them content around my product, the capabilities, how I can solve their problems. In addition to that, social proof, because the assumption here is the more recent the person engaged with your website, the more brand affinity and trust and the higher propensity to conversion it is. This isn't always necessarily true. Sometimes what we'll find is like our 90-day segments convert better than 30, or vice versa, the 180 converts better than the 90. This is where you have to test and see for yourself. But again, if you have the audience size, if you don't have the audience size to do this, don't worry. Just focus on the 90-day segment and then go from there. But V level 1 here is you need to just create your first segment, because it's only once you create the audience that it then starts populating after the point of creation. So in this case, I'm just going to name this remarketing 90 days web visits. This is the naming convention that I like to follow if you want to take advantage of it. And then I would just replicate this process 3 times over. I would save this, and then I would do this again for 30, 90, and 180. For context, this is what this looks like in practice. So you can see I've got a 30-day segment, a 90-day segment, and a 180-day segment. And because of my naming conventions, it makes it super easy to see where each cohort of time is. So in future, I can create a campaign around 30 days with all these different segments, 90 days and 180 days. I actually have a video in this channel that I walk through this remarketing best practices in much more detail if you guys want to dive into that. But moving on, I want to just focus on some different use cases with the website visits audience and some traps to avoid. So for their website visits audience, there's a couple of like golden gems within this that you can leverage. So for context, you have a lot of traffic that's coming to your website, right? And your website probably has some very important pages that are a good indicator of intent. One of those pages is your pricing page. In addition to that, it could be your case study page. Another high intent page could be, like ROI calculators, could be a good one. But essentially, think about what are the pages on your website that if somebody's actually engaging with, they are interested, right? Like there's some actual sales intent, because what you can do is you can make this specific audience its own segment, and then you can launch a campaign against it. So in practice, what this would look like is I would come here, I would create an audience, I would do a website visit, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to name this remarketing high intent, and then this is going to be web visits. And then I'm going to put the cohort of time. So let's just say 90 days. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put those specific pages. So for context, that would be like slash contains, pricing. And then what I would do is I would add an or statement. So it can be pricing page or case study page, right? So case study, and I'm obviously like guessing. You have to put here what are the URLs that match for you, but in practice you would create these different combinations, so pricing or case study or calculators, whatever that is for you. If you have like an on-demand platform walkthrough or a product tour, did they visit that? This is a high intent audience that you can create based on website visits, and then you can push your core offer against this audience. So for example, sign up for a free trial, get a demo, and it makes sense in this case because this segment has quote unquote expressed intent, right? Based on the actions they took on your website. So that's a really great one that I would recommend that you guys try out if you have the audience size. Another one that I really love if you're doing a lot of activities on Google Ads. So if you're running a lot of Google ad campaigns and then you're driving Google ad traffic to your website, there's a massive opportunity to just retarget that Google ads traffic. So for context, like your Google ads traffic, maybe you're paying like, $40, $70 per click if you're bidding on exact match high intent keywords, maybe it's less. But the point is you're buying high intent traffic, you're driving them to your landing pages on your website, they're not converting. So we want to make sure we take advantage and we capitalize on that high intent traffic and we try to get them to convert. So in addition to this high intent web visits ones, if you don't have the audience size alone, you can add it as a cluster here as an OR rule, where basically what you would do is you would say, or match a URL where the UTM source contains whatever it is for you. So in this case, I'm going to put Google, and the UTM medium equals CPC. This is my way of saying I want to also include just Google Ads traffic visitors in my high intent audience cluster that I'm creating here. And because I'm using this OR segment, it gives me more flexibility in terms of audience size. So if you're not able to just have this be its own audience segment, you can cluster it together like this. And now what I've done is I've created a really high intent segment, again, that I have the opportunity. These people were already searching on Google. They came to my website. They didn't convert. Now I have the opportunity to show ads against them on LinkedIn to try to get them to convert on that primary call to action. So that is it for this video. I hope it was helpful and it gave you a different perspective of how to think about using the LinkedIn ads website retargeting audience. Again, make sure if you have the size to leverage those different cohorts of time. Check out our best practices video on the channel to go deeper on this around like types of content to run. In addition to that, if you have the size, creating a high intent segment based on pricing page visits, case study, calculator views, Google Ads traffic is awesome because it's going to allow you to drive more demo requests, more free trials from a segment that has already expressed interest. But all in all, when you're leveraging LinkedIn ads retargeting, the real power comes from when you combine multiple segments together so you can really scale your size. I hope this video was helpful. If you guys want to dive deeper on LinkedIn ads, then you should absolutely check out our courses here at adconversion.com. If you're not familiar, we've got free courses on Reddit, on Google, on LinkedIn, and in our LinkedIn ads courses, we dive deep into all of this stuff. And all of our courses are 100% free. So you can sign up today. You'll get access to our existing courses and future courses. The only thing that we have that is paid, if you're wondering what's the catch, is our community, where once people go through our courses, they're ready to take things to the next level, then they go into the community. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're not subscribed already, if you can do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and like it, it'll help us out a ton, and I'll see you in the next one.